Good afternoon, everybody. Happy Thursday. Welcome into another edition of the Big Men on Campus podcast. It is Thursday, May 9th, 2019. And I'm your host, the Big Man on Campus. Let's break it down, get into it. Lot to do today. We'll get into some MLB. We'll get into two NBA games tonight, two game sixes. Can Philadelphia and Portland go to a game seven? We will see tonight. We'll break that down for you as well. I hope you're having a great Thursday wherever you are. Thanks for joining me today. As always, please hit the like button. Communicate with us in the chat box. All you have to do is click on the live chat over on the right side, and you can make your voice heard. If you're on Twitter, also do me a favor. Please retweet the show, which is always very helpful. Growing the show is important. We're obviously not in our busy season, but any way you can grow the show, it's always helpful. Question right out of the gate. We'll get to MLB, basketball, all sorts of stuff. Question right out of the gate. Big man, do you think Chelsea will qualify? I got to tell you, Ontrack's actually played very well in this game. It's been pretty kind of, 50-50 in this game. It's been hard to really, wonder who's going to win. 1-1 right now, 92nd, actually 93rd. Both teams, shot-wise, are pretty even. Possession's pretty even. I got a feeling we're going to go to penalties here, but that's just me. We'll keep up to abreast onto what's going on in this one. Arsenal has already moved on. They beat Valencia, put up a few goals in that one. A hat trick for Aubameyang. How about that? A lot going on, and I'm excited. Obviously, tonight, Sixers play, which, look, we'll see what happens. We'll obviously get into it in a little bit. Last night, actually, was very nice for me on the NBA court, at least. Bucks and Warriors both cash. I want to talk about that Warrior game and really kind of look going forward. Obviously, James Harden's not going to, or James Harden, Kevin Durant's not going to play over the next two games. And look, I really thought Houston let one get away last night. If they could have found a way to win that game, I think they would have won the series. It's a real shame they ended up losing because they would have been in the driver's seat, I feel like, but I still think they have enough to, and I think they will beat Houston. It might go seven, but I just can't think that Houston could win two games in a row, especially one in Golden State. Could it get to seven? Sure could. But I think in Golden State. Now, obviously going forward after that, I think the Warriors have some question marks. But, look, they still have Stephen Curry. They still have Klay Thompson. If they get Looney to play that well, they're going to be in business. And look, who knows if they'll get DeMarcus Cousins back. It's definitely a loss. But I think they will win this series. That's definitely something that I think will go on here. Let's get into some baseball, and then we'll get into, obviously, the NBA. We'll start off with the St. Louis Cardinals and the Pittsburgh Pirates. Pirates on the road here. Not been a good road team this year, but they got their guy on the mound, Joe Musgrove. And I'll tell you this, they're actually playing pretty well right now, Pittsburgh. They've won 5 of 7. They're finally starting to hit, and I'll tell you what, Josh Bell has looked very good for the Pirates. 9 home runs, 27 RBIs. And Melky Cabrera has given them some really good at-bats. They're starting to look like a pretty decent offensive team. And behind Musgrove, you got to feel good about it. You look at Musgrove, obviously, coming off a bad start, but all in all, he's been very good this season. He's been a guy that has found a way to really, on the road, be terrific. You look at 4 starts on the road, Joe Musgrove with an ERA at 1.23. He has been very good on the road. And with a good team behind him right now, you look at a first 5 and you have to be interested. You also look at the fact that Michael Wacha is pitching for the St. Louis Cardinals. Wacha, who, and you look at this Cardinals team, they've lost 6 of 8. They're only hitting .213. They're starting to hit a little bit of a wall a little bit. And Wacha has not been good this year. But you look at Wacha and why I like the first 5. Early on, Michael Wacha has been very poor in the first and second inning. You look at this year, opponents hitting .320 off Michael Wacha in the first and second inning. So if you're the Pirates, you have to jump on Wacha early because as he goes, he actually gets much better, clearly getting into that 5th, 6th inning. So if you can get on Michael Walker early, I'm confident that the Pirates can get the job done in the first 5. They have their man on the mound. They're hitting well right now, and they're getting a team that, frankly, just isn't playing too well. You got to get on Michael Walker early. I think the Pirates can do that in this game. If Chelsea qualify, and both Euro competitions will be both England finals. Yeah, that's true. Good point. I'm just kind of remembering that right now. Great point. Houston has done this a couple times when it's right there, and where the hell is the effort? Yeah, I mean, James Harden was missing in action last night in the late going to that basketball game. Tough. You hate to see that if you're Harden and if you're a Rockets fan. So we'll see. We'll get to that game obviously tomorrow. Next game, we have the Houston Rockets and the Texas Rangers. This is an interesting game. You look at Texas and you see Wade Miley. You see Wade Miley for Houston. You see, our boy Mike Minor for Texas. Texas is obviously a team that when Miley pitches, you always have to look at. But I'm kind of looking at this game and saying to myself, I think there's something to this one. I think a lot of people are going to see the big price on Miley and say, well, not interested. And then they're going to see, well, he's getting Minor, so I'm going to go Minor. I'm going to take Minor. Here's the problem with Texas right now. They're not hitting, and their bullpen is not good. This reminds me a lot, guys, of that game the other night between the Brewers and the Nationals. You obviously have a pitching advantage here, maybe in the first 5 innings, but I think everything after that, you got to be really concerned. And this Houston team is starting to hit. I look at Miley, and, I think we also have to give Wade Miley a little credit. He's been pretty damn good himself. I mean, he's held opponents to 3 runs or fewer in 23 straight starts. I mean, Wade Miley's giving you a lot of really good outings. And you're seeing a total at 9. I'm looking at this game, and I'm kind of liking Houston a little bit here. This price is too high, though. And the fact that it's, I got to lay the run line, and I'm only going to get 8 at-bats. Don't love that. But I'm looking at this total, and I'm saying, well, okay. I mean, you look at the first 5 total here. The total is 9. So in the first 5, you're going to get a total of 5. I just don't really know if these two are going to give up 5 runs. Texas isn't hitting, like I said. Might be a way to go here. I would only look at this game first 5, though, if I'm looking totals, because these bullpens can't give it up. But that's another advantage for Houston in this game. They have a much better bullpen than Texas does. I think Houston will win this game. If you're willing to lay 170, I think they'll get their job done here. I really do. Even though it's Mike Minor. I think a lot of people are going to take Minor tonight. Yet you need to pull back the onion and understand, Miley's been really good as well. You look at the Yankees and Mariners, Jay Happ against Michael Leake. And I have some real concerns for Michael Leake in this game. Michael Leake has really had issues against right-handed hitters. And the Yankees are almost totally right-handed hitters. Mike Leake's allowing opponents to hit 373 from the right side of the plate. He's not been good on the road. I actually faded him a few weeks ago when he faced Texas. I think Mike Leake has all sorts of trouble tonight in this game. I think the Yankees shot a little bit from the plate. I really do. I'm looking at a team total over with the Yankees in this one. Really think they have some fun at the plate here. Problem with Jay Happ, I'm not willing to run with Jay Happ. I actually like the over in this game as well. I mean, Jay Happ's not been very good either, so I think we're going to see some runs here. Weird thing about this game, and I don't really ever bring this kind of stuff up, but weirdly enough, on Thursdays this year, Seattle's 5-0, up over 6 units of profit. Very odd. Those day stats are stupid, especially when people give it. It's like, the Yankees are 2-1 on Tuesdays. I mean, what you're getting when you're starting to get up there, where you're making 6-7 units of profit, on getaway day they've actually been pretty good, surprisingly enough. But I think the Yankees have some success here. This is not a good matchup for Mike Leake. He gets dominated by right-handed hitters, and actually, with the exception of Mike Tauschman, I think everyone on the Yankees is a right-handed hitter. So, I really like where you're sitting if you're looking at a Yankee team total here. Team total is 4.5. You got to lay a little juice on it, but I think they get the 5. One thing, guys, I do want you to do is go support our sponsor, betonline.ag. There are so many things that make BetOnline really one of the premier sports books out there, one of which is obviously their A+ rating, but also the fact that they're one of the line originators in the offshore market. If you want to bet early, you have to have BetOnline. It has to be part of your arsenal, especially with football coming. You have to get on these games before they move. BetOnline is going to have them out before anybody. Don't wait until the last minute. Get your lines in early. With great customer service, with the ability to use multiple deposit options, and the ability to get paid really quick once you want it, BetOnline's your place. You have to be with BetOnline. So many reasons to do it. And just by listening to the show, if you enter promo code BIGMAN when you create your account and add your money, you're going to get yourself a 50% deposit bonus. Keep in mind, rollover requirements do apply, but BetOnline, one of the shortest rollovers in the business. You can always decline the rollover. You don't always have to take a bonus. But please use the promo code BIGMAN. It's a great way to support our show and support our sponsors. If you're looking for a new book or really just looking to get started in the business, sports betting, BetOnline has to be your place. Line value, all that stuff is critical. Make sure BetOnline is in your betting arsenal and get with them because you can. BetOnline.ag. Use promo code BIGMAN. You open your account to get yourself a deposit bonus. Let's go to the chat and say hello to some people. What do we have? Samaje, what's up? SP the Ghost. Jay Patel, Brian, Chad, Casey, Azaz, Adam, KD, Alex, Lance LaRose, Reagan Anthony. Does BetOnline allow you to use Visa debit cards? I'm not sure. I'm not sure about that. That's a good question. I would get in touch with customer service. I'm sure they can help you out. A couple other questions. Do you think John Beilein, with the Michigan connection to Pelinka, could get a shot for the Laker job? No. John Beilein is not going to be an NBA coach. Sorry. There's absolutely no reason for John Beilein to leave. John Beilein's a very simple guy. I've heard from people that know he just, I don't think he wants to get involved with the diva attitudes and stuff. I think he enjoys coaching in the college ranks. He gets everything he wants. He does really well. He gets paid well. I mean, John Beilein's old at this point. I mean, he's not going to be, I don't think, jumping to move to the NBA. That would never happen. In fact, if it did happen, I'd probably quit this business. That's how much it will not happen. John Beilein's, going to be 67 years old. You're getting up there. You're getting to the golden years. You've had massive success at Michigan. I don't think there's any way that happens. The only guys that I think would be NBA caliber coaches would probably be like a Jay Wright, Eric Musselman, that kind of coach, maybe John Calipari, but I don't think any of these guys are in the running. Rick Pitino, maybe. I don't think that will happen though. Now, John Beilein's not leaving Michigan. John Beilein makes over $3 million a year. I mean, he's in a dream job. John Beilein's the kind of guy, like, if I were him, I would never leave Michigan. I mean, a lot of these college coaches are treated incredibly well. They have time off. They're dealing with kids. They can mold them into, professionals and better men. If I were a coach, I'd have no interest in the NBA. None. I think the essence of coaching is college. You can actually still coach. And I think John Beilein is kind of the epitome of that. He wants to coach. He wants to make these kids better. And I'm not knocking your question. It's obviously an interesting question. I don't think there's any shot that would happen. What's up, W. Obe? Leroy Flood. What's up, Nuke Worker? If Philly doesn't win, how soon after does Brett Brown get fired? I think he should be fired tomorrow if he doesn't win tonight. But I don't think it'll be too long. let's get into some NBA here. I want to go to the Sixer game here. We'll start out with that one, and we'll go to the Wells Fargo Center in South Philadelphia. Big game tonight, game 6. Toronto Raptors at Bet Online, a 2-point favorite. Total is 212. And look, if you're saying to me right now, what do you think happens tonight? Here's what I think is going to happen. I think Sixers are going to lose. I really believe that. This not only is just a team that I think with very little leadership, I wonder how consistent they can be and if they can change it that fast. Look, if you're a team, if you're an NBA basketball player, if you're an organization, and you can't use the other night to really kind of springboard you into this game. I mean, I said the other night I thought Brett Brown was coaching for his job. I mean, I got to be honest. If he can't get them prepared in this game, I don't know what to say. I would just be blown away. But you look at this team, I mean, what makes you think they're going to be any different? They don't have a lot to work with outside of the starting 5. Joel Embiid's sick. I mean, I haven't heard anything about him. What's his status? Is he good? And Tobias Harris has been incredibly, inconsistent. JJ Redick, I mean, offers you nothing outside of making shots. Jimmy Butler's been great, but he can't do it all alone. And we forgot about the elephant in the room, Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons has been horrific in the playoffs, especially in this series. Horrific. And I got to tell you, home dogs in this game don't fare well. You look at since 2014-15, guys. Home dogs in Game 6 are 0-10 straight up in the last 10. I mean, they don't win this game. And since 2005 in Game 6 and 7, home dogs are 10-26-1 against the spread. 28% of the time they're covering. It just doesn't really bode well. Then we say to ourselves, I mean, the team coming in, I mean, it's not like they've been able to stop Kawhi Leonard. You're starting to see others contribute. I don't feel good about it. I know how it feels to be a fan of this team, and I know that the inability of them to really come to play when it matters. I think there are massive leadership problems on this team, and I don't think in a game and a half or in a day and a half those are going to be fixed. So, I mean, I guess we can kind of sugarcoat it and say, well, Embiid will be fine or whatever, but I don't think they're going to win. I just don't. And I hate to be like that. I would love for them to win, and I would love for them to win Game 7, but Sunday was a bad loss for them. I thought that probably was the nail in the coffin because it was really from that point they took a real stranglehold on the series. So for me, I would lean with the Raptors in this game, and I think they will get the job done, and I think they will move on. And there are going to be some serious questions over the next 6 months in this town. And conceivably, this could be the last game we see. I mean, I think it's extremely unlikely we see this group again together. I mean, I think Tobias Harris is gone. I think Ben Simmons could be gone. I think Butler will stay. I think Redick could be gone. One of those two is gone for sure. Redick or Harris. One of them's gone. There's going to be a new coach. I don't think there's a conceivable way you can keep Brett Brown if he loses tonight. I don't. And if they do, I would have to have some real questions on everything involved. And if you go back last year, guys, to this same situation against the Boston Celtics, after the game when they lost and the series was over in 5, I made it clear I thought they should fire Brett Brown. People told me I was nuts. I got so much shit on Twitter for it. Give him another year. Give him another year. Look what happens. Another year and another year behind. Look, if you're going to start over and you're going to really go for it, he's not your coach. Sorry. And you said you would have did stuff in the offseason and you didn't do it. And you waited for the middle of the season where these guys could never really get a hold on each other. Why is Golden State saying calf on Durant when it's Achilles? He's done for the playoffs, unfortunately. Yeah, I mean, because maybe it is a calf. What do you mean? Why would they say it's not an Achilles when it's a calf or vice versa? What do you mean? What are you, a doctor and you know? Maybe it really is a calf. You ever think of that? First of all, you can't lie and say that it is and it isn't. I mean, what would they have to gain by that? Not really sure. Did you know Embiid said "see ya" in Game 7? Not sure what you mean by that. No one. Redick's expensive contract. Yeah, $23 million a year. Other game, Portland and the Denver Nuggets. Portland's having major trouble defending the Nuggets in this series. 126 points a game over the last two. Where's Lillard is the big question. He's not played particularly well. I don't think it's impossible to think that both these teams are going to lose tonight, Portland and Philadelphia. I just think the Nuggets are the better team. I'm getting points here. The series has generally been close for the most part. Either way, I think Denver wins this series. But if you're going to give me them as an underdog with how bad Portland's been defensively, with how they've made it clear they can't defend Nikola Jokic, I like the Nuggets here. I got to be frank. Feel free to send in any questions you might have. We'll kind of build off what we've talked about here. Obviously, not a huge card tonight. We have one series getting started in the NHL. Most of the MLB games are already in progress or have finished. So not a ton to really wet our whistles with, to be honest. So feel free to send in any questions that you might have, and we'll kind of build on that. Who's going to come off the bench tonight for the Sixers? Mike Scott, Ennis. It's probably it. I guess fucking Greg Monroe, unfortunately. Do you know where we can watch the Europa? I mean, are you in the United States or no? As far as where you can watch it, I want to say it's on Watch ESPN. I could check for you. I think they carry Europa League games, but I might be wrong. I've been watching Europa on some of the Spanish channels that I have. So, I mean, that's probably where I would recommend. I don't know if you're local or you're in another country or what. Because if you're in another country, I would say just watch Bet365. They have a feed, but yeah, I don't know. That's I would just look for your Spanish channels and see if they have it. All right. He said it to Drake on the way off the floor. Not that I care, but just because he says it doesn't mean it will happen. I know you think the Sixers will lose. Yeah, I didn't hear him say that. Obviously, I think, he's always going to say stuff like that. But, I mean, who knows? Who knows with him? He talks a lot. Red Girl says Raptors for full game under. Yeah, I mean, you have to figure it's a close game. The Sixers have struggled to shoot the basketball. Again, I think the Sixers game just really comes down to Joel Embiid. I mean, look, if Joel Embiid's fully healthy, then I think the Sixers are a different team. But not really much is giving you any reason to think that he's going to. So, I mean, I don't really know how you conceivably say you like the Sixers until you know. So if it were me, I don't have a good feeling about it. I mean, as a fan. So, I mean, again, I'm a fan, so I'm just giving you my real opinion. But I think this team has major leadership problems. Someone needs to step up. What would really make it fun is if they do win tonight and Embiid's great, and it's like, oh my God, we're actually going to get a decent game in these playoffs. We're going to get a game 7. So definitely interesting. Definitely a fascinating game. I'm definitely excited to see how it goes. I will be watching. I'll be on Periscope during the second half. I've had some issues with Periscope and my connection. I don't know why. I never have any issues doing any shows or anything, but I'll be on. It's funny. I just got the feed of Joel Embiid walking into the locker room, and a much different. It's so funny with this guy because you look at him today walking in, and he looks like he just won the lottery. But you got to wonder, is that his real thought process? Is he really happy, or is he just putting on a face saying, "Uh-oh, they shredded me last time for looking real down. Am I going to just pucker up today and act like I'm really happy?" But he looks like he just won the lottery. I just retweeted it. So, I don't know. That makes me happy, but is it forced? I don't know. According to Jeff Skaversky, who is a reporter around here, he works for Channel 6. According to him, someone very close to Embiid says that he's feeling way better. So, listen, I want to make this clear as well. I have had a problem with Embiid's issues lately. I love Joel Embiid. I think he, when healthy, is the best big in the league, and I mean that. I want him to get his issues fixed. I want him to care more about him as a player because I think if he does, I think he could be one of the great players we've ever seen at this level, as a big. I just wonder, it's funny because I kind of relate Joel Embiid to me. I believe that if I got my weight in check, which I'm trying to work on, I think I could be a fucking powerhouse. We all have those issues. The difference between me and Joel is he's an NBA basketball player making hundreds of millions of dollars, and I'm just a chunky Albanian guy that tries to crack it out through sports betting. I hope Joel Embiid does help himself, and I hope they stick with Joel Embiid. I don't want them to trade Joel Embiid, not at all. I just want him to fix himself, so he's not sick, so he's not doesn't have these issues. A couple of people joining us. Kevin Berg, thanks for watching. Eric Nisbet, yep, I agree. Denver as well. Embiid is an emotional swing, but it'll go to Game 7. We'll see. Yeah, that Houston cover last night was big. That was definitely a good point. Embiid isn't sick the whole series. I don't think so. They get him on. Yeah, I think he's fine. I think he'll be fine tonight, Red Girl. But I think possessions will be really important, and I think your under probably makes some sense. Chad Costanza, Embiid over 33.5 points and rebounds combined. Well, so you're hoping for a 30 and 15 type of game, or 25 and 15. It's actually not a bad bet, to be honest. I mean, that whole walk down the corridor makes you feel excited if you like Embiid. Have you heard LeBron wants out of the Lakers, or is that just a rumor? No. I mean, it seems to be starting to gain legs. I don't think he's going anywhere, but that's just me. Look, I think LeBron's near the end of his career. I don't think he really wants to, go and try to pick a team. I didn't think it was a good fit for him to begin with. But again, LeBron James, at this point, I'm not sure he really cares much more. He's looking down, to his life after basketball. But it presents an interesting question. Would you trade Joel Embiid, or would you trade Ben Simmons straight up for fucking LeBron? No, it's not going to ever happen. But I heard a lot of people saying trade Ben Simmons to the Knicks for the number 2 pick if they get it. I would do that. I would do that, definitely. Give me John Morant any day of the week. Give me John Morant, Jimmy Butler, Embiid. I don't know. I guess you re-sign Harris and get another 4 and go to the finals. Bring in John Morant, baby. Number 2. Knicks are stupid enough to do that. Look for Kawhi to finish the Sixers off tonight. Yeah, I have a feeling you're going to be right, bro. Who's the best player this NBA playoffs? Definitely Durant. And he leans on the total in the Portland game. I was leaning over. Yeah, I mean, Portland has been a disaster on defense. I don't know. I guess I lean over, but it is an important game. Possession's obviously much more important. I don't have a big opinion on the total. Maybe a Denver team total. Chelsea goal disallowed. That sucks. I don't really follow why Lou backed out on the LA coaching job. What was the reason? Because he wanted 5 years, and they weren't going to give him 5 years in the contract. Harris is going to want a max deal. Well, he's not going to get a max deal, so you better take that noise somewhere else. Look, if he wants a max deal, then I'll just take Redick back. If you have any other questions, feel free to send them in. No problem. Thanks for watching, man. Game 7 would be up in Toronto. That's obviously a tough one. Wish it was in Philly. I miss Game 7s of importance around here. What else do we have here? Do I think Butler's going to stay in Philly? Yes, 100%. Yeah, I don't have anything on Friday night's games yet. We'll talk about those tomorrow. How many players per NBA roster typically get max deals? I don't know, maybe 3 or 4. Do I like the Mariners tonight? No, I don't like the Mariners tonight. Mike Leake's a mess. All right, guys, we're going to wrap up the show. We're going to kind of move on to Friday. Going to see kind of what it's hitting for this weekend. We'll try to find some value. Really, over the next probably over the next month, I'm going to start getting into a lot of NBA stuff, NBA draft stuff. Going to do some, kind of quick previews of different things and really kind of look at that. We're going to start getting into college football previews as well. Make sure you subscribe. I'm going to start doing some more quick videos, things like that. Maybe instead of these big live long shows kind of into the summer. It's quicker content. And, until football gets here, not as many people are betting baseball. So we'll figure it all out. We'll have something for you. Can you elaborate on how you get through the offseason of football and college basketball? I think if someone lets it can harm your bankroll. How do you get through? Wow, that's a really good question, actually. I think it's really just. Luckily, I don't have a lot of quantity as far as betting in general. So, I kind of just try to grind away with baseball. Baseball can be really fun. I mean, especially when you're winning and you kind of are seeing the card well. But I don't get in a lot of these other sports. I don't bet CFL or any of these dumb little things. I try to really kind of involve my mind with a lot of preview kind of stuff. I don't have to bet just to bet, so I don't really have that gene. But I think maybe just involving yourself with a game or two a night in baseball. Finding plus money opportunities. Not putting too much of your bankroll at risk. That's kind of keeping yourself busy and doing other things. Is important. I go to the shore or I go and look at college football. I like to prepare for stuff, so I like to do stuff ahead of time. So I'm starting that like June 1st, and then I'm just fucking going through every single team. So, and this year I hope that I'm somewhere in particular doing all that for them. So we'll see how it all works. Thanks for watching, Eric. Thanks for watching, Kevin. Underdog, thanks for watching. Louis Lanza, thanks for watching. Anything on NHL? Didn't even really look. In fact, I probably would have taken Boston anyway. So, no, I have nothing on this one. I will look forward to the next round, and we'll let these kind of marinate a little bit first, and then we'll get into them. But thanks, everyone, for watching here on the Thursday card. A quick show. We get it done. We pop off. And we'll be back tomorrow. Look out on a Periscope later. I'll probably be on for the second half of the game. So check that out as well. You all have a great night. Bye-bye.